Uh, Abstract brainwaves, game genie in the beanie. We ain't on the same stage, leveled up. The epitome of technique, can't survive in my current thought.
Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And I am ready to discuss some more Pokemon Go. Ready as in, I took a break, as I mentioned in some other videos that have been up by now. But I was still playing Pokemon, still recording some stuff, just not in the editing mode, still not in the, daily grind of making content for you guys. But I had to go really far back in the archives of my phone to remember what was the last thing that I actually recorded in-game wise to share with you guys. And that goes all the way back to the event that they had for Christmas time. Christmas time they brought back Delibird, and which could also be shiny. They brought back Stantler, which could, well, they didn't bring back. They introduced Stantler, who could be shiny and have the bells on and be green and all that. So the Delibird thing I predicted was accurate because they're going to continue to do that. I can predict now that they're going to do Delibird again next year, and it wouldn't be incorrect, right? At least let's knock on wood that it's, the likelihood is like 99.9%, okay? That aside, what we've got here is the Frosty Lore module. So I'm just showing that off here. And I got with some friends. And what you wanted there was this new Pokemon called Cryogonal. And that could only be gotten using your Frosty Lore, your Ice Lore, your Glacial Lore, I think is the correct term. You could also do that to get Glaceon if you hadn't had one either, but you weren't guaranteed getting Cryogonal just by using that lure. So the nice thing that they did was they made those lures last for like 2 hours, I think, on the weekend that I'm recording all of this. And you still had Virizion out by now that you're seeing this video. By this time, Virizion's gone, and Heatran is back. Yeah, Heatran is back, and it can be shiny. So there's a little excitement there. They had a really good box that was out. They had an Ultra box that had 20 passes. I jumped on that, and I still have all 20 of those passes. I just felt like, I don't need to do a whole bunch of Virizions. Lugia and Ho-Oh returned, but I didn't use a bunch of passes on them either, even though, I would love to have had another shiny Lugia. So that aside, what else did you have going on? You had this new bear Pokemon. He's got like a teardrop or like a frozen booger hanging out of his nose, something like that, right? He's a new Pokemon, and that one could evolve. Or he goes from the teddy bear form. He's like Teddy Ursa almost. He goes from that to his big form. So yeah, that was probably the best box that I had seen, period, in game so far. The buddy system. I really didn't understand the new changes, but I got to experience a little more of those. And the fact that I realized when you battle, it's not battling in a gym, it's battling your trainer. Like, not yours specifically, but those trainers, the three, you battle them. If you include your buddy in that battle, even if your buddy's weak to it, you just kind of put them in there, lead out, and switch it out. You get credit for that. You get a heart for that. So what you want is to try to get 10 hearts every day to prestige, just like you give gifts out to your friends. And over time, the hearts slowly build up to the max. You're doing the same thing with your buddy. So for the longest, I was at like still 1 heart. And that was the intro, right? And I had seen some friends say, oh, your buddy will assist you and throw a Pokeball. I was like, yeah, right. Get out of here. That's not true. But it is. And I don't have footage of that yet because I'm still not there. Matter of fact, I got Emboar and I was happy. I was like, oh, finally, left Tanglewood and got enough T-Pig candies to evolve the Pokemon that I wanted. And, there we are. There wasn't anything else new. I think I got Dino's final evolution out of the way and was excited for that too, but they've got to release some more Generation 5 Pokemon for me to, and a bunch of others, to really be out there like we used to be. Because what it's showing you is, even though it's not snowing in my region, it's still kind of cold out. People aren't really looking for raids as much as they're looking for new Pokemon. And if they happen to see a raid while looking for these new ones, well, guess what? the activity in the game jumps back up. But that'll happen soon, don't worry. So a lot of us experiencing slight burnout. But what's really important is, with Giovanni being out this month again, January, you've got the Shadow Moltres, you've got some other Shadow Pokemon that can be captured now. It really prepares you for PvP. So I know in my community, we've got some folks who are working hard to continue that effort into building the community with the PvP tournament. So I appreciate all of you guys and what you do. The Giovanni battles and the grunts and all that, it helps you for that. So I'm somewhere in that. I don't have all the footage in this particular video. I'm going to let this play its course, and I'll probably pull that up and show you. I'm getting ready to plan my next moves. I got some laundry and stuff I need to take care of. Got some nice little Ninja Turtle socks for Christmas. Some Dr. Mario. He's got some medicine, some pills or whatever. Yeah, I think just get socks. I got a bunch of other stuff too. Go check out that Black Friday video I did. Upgraded some stuff in my kitchen too, so I was real excited about that. Obviously, you see the branding on the hat. That was a gift to myself as well. So back to Pokemon Go. There's an announcement for a Pokemon Direct. So while that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be about Pokemon Go, it could have impacts to it if it is Pokemon Home. So stay tuned for that Nintendo Direct. I believe it is going to be Thursday, 9 a.m. Your local time, Eastern. Oh, I'm sorry, not your local time, but it's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whatever that is for wherever you live, you got to determine that. I'm not going to do the math right now this early in the morning, but the weather is good here now for me, so I can get back to getting out and hunting for some Pokemon and not just driving around, and being in cars. But what that Pokemon Home impact could be is, hey, you can finally move some Pokemon that you've been holding on to, or, your second tier Pokemon that you don't want to necessarily get rid of because they're still good. You can put those in Pokemon Home and possibly send those to other Pokemon games like on your DS and 3DS, or just pay for your cloud storage for that. So hopefully that is finally announced. Maybe Pokemon Sleep, they have a release date on that too, but I'm really excited about all that information. So Heatran is here. He's going to be here for a little bit, couple of weeks maybe. It's got the shiny form. There is still the massive Stardust event going on where, you hatch these eggs, you walk 5, 25, or 50 kilometers, you get a certain amount of gifts. If you do the 50K kilometers somehow, some way, some of you, I know you can do that. I've been lazy. You could get potentially 75K Stardust from what I've seen. Now, how do you get that? Well, 9 o'clock in the morning is on Mondays. That's when you get that notification telling you, hey, you've walked such and such, claim your reward. I accidentally did not claim mine. I thought maybe when I reopened the game later that I could claim it. I haven't seen it, so I don't know if I got those Pokeballs or what, but I only walked 5 kilometers, but, excuse me, as someone who doesn't want to pay for Pokeballs at all, that would have helped me out because I've been burning through too many of them as of late. Community Day, end up using too many Pokeballs. So, I have not replenished my bag from there. So what I also wanted to pull up here was, okay, I think this is just showing me catch the Cubchoo. The video had finished. This is another clip here with me catching the Cubchoo and doing a little bit more. But what was I rambling about? So yeah, 9 a.m., that's when the reward claims. But if you get up beforehand and put on the star piece, well, you get an additional half of that Stardust. So that's something you should be looking forward to in the game there. Not only that, but you get some Pokeballs, some other things. You also get the Unova Stone. Let me actually cut from that clip here and just go straight to that because I think I have images of all that there. Right? So what you would want to look at here before we get into all of that is the research tasks here they've got Win 5 raids gets you the Aerodactyl if you're still looking for Aerodactyl. More importantly, what I wanted to get at was Wobbuffet has returned with the party hat, can also be shiny, as well as Pikachu with the party hat. Nobody cares. And then you've got Raticate, who can also have the party hat. So the one that I'm missing still is Wurmple. Now, I was looking for Wurmple, but the reality is you've got to actually hatch that thing. And I believe it comes out of 2K eggs. So I've got to still hatch a couple. I still got some from that awesome Ultra box that I got. There's some incubators, but I don't want to waste all of those on 2K eggs. But I've got this research task that's had 7 eggs, so I may have to do that. So here's the image here. I'll have that up on screen. Adventure Sync rewards. This is from GoHub. 5 kilometers only gets you 20 Pokeballs. 25 gets you 20 Pokeballs, 20 Great Balls, and 1,000 Stardust. And or 3 Silver Pineapps. It could be 3 Rare Candies and 1 5-kilometer egg. So you want to make sure that if you're going to get any of that for 25, 50, or even 100, that you have a free spot there. The 50-kilometer, which is I thought was the apex, but isn't. There's 100 here. You get the 20, you get the 10, and you also get 5 Great Balls there, and 6,000 Stardust. So that's really an incentive for me. I really need to try to get the 50 kilometers if I can. Unlikely, but I need to try. 3 Silver Pineapps, or 3 Rare Candies, or 1 5-kilometer egg. There's also the possibility of getting 5 Silver Pineapps, or 5 Rare Candy, 1 5-kilometer egg, or a 10-kilometer egg, which is exciting. Then, of course, if you do the 100, you get all of that same stuff, but you get the possibility of getting 16,000 Stardust, which is also great. Now, if you do it, the additional awards for the 100 and the 50 kilometers is 15 Rare Candy, 1 Unova Stone, and the 50,000. So you got 2 chances to do that. It started January 6th, and they've got here that it ends on the 13th, so there are 2 Mondays in that period. So doing the math, if you did the star piece twice for both of those days, it's 150,000 Stardust right there. That is worth it. That's very well worth it. And who knows how many eggs you hatch in between walking 100 kilometers, right? You could go through a plethora of them. So my plan is to, possibly this weekend, get that 50 kilometers in if I can. We'll see how busy I am. I know I could possibly get that 25 if nothing at all. So we'll see what happens there. Stay tuned for all of that. I am still on this quest for the Moltres. Let me see exactly where I am in it. So yeah, what I've got here is just more information telling you about the Wurmple and this 2020 event here. I'll show that image, but I'm sure all of you have seen it by now. So that's what's going on in game at this moment in time. I'm sure they'll piggyback off of this with another legendary that comes out after Heatran. Don't forget, Regigigas is the current EX boss, but it's likely that will change to one of these other mythicals that's left, right? You got Shaman, if I said that name right? That's one of the legendaries. You also still have Arceus, who's out there, the god Pokemon. It could be that it rotates, or it could just be Regigigas that stays and comes back with a possible shiny form or something. Who knows? But that should be changing soon. Those passes should be coming out. So we'll all be on the lookout for all of that information. How did your holiday go? Where are you at the Pokemon? Do you already have the Shadow Moltres? Where are you at in the game? Let me know. Were you able to capitalize last week off of the 50K dust? I'd like to hear from you. Show me pictures. Leave me comments on what you've got going on. That said, I will see you guys in the next video. Other Yellow Hat Guy out. Captain Sensation!